What's up, everyone? We have a lot to talk about today, including the awesome 6-0 win against Tulsa.
Woo!
And of course, we'll look ahead to this weekend's big match. What do they call it? The Donner Pass Derby.
Yeah, that's it.
And against Reno, of course, we'll do that right after this. All right, guys, we're back, of course, here at Fort Rock Brewing. I'm Mark Anthony, KCJ, Jonathan Glatz. Man, satisfied after the win on Saturday, so we'll talk about that, of course, and we'll also look ahead to Reno this coming weekend. We might also dabble into a little Gold Cup, so stick around and we'll talk about some other things going on in the world of soccer. But first, let's get into it. Republic 6, Tulsa 0. Comprehensive win for the guys in red. Casey, tell me your initial thoughts after that game. How are you feeling?
It was amazing. I think it's what's our biggest win in
Franchise
club history,
yeah.
correct? So,
Yeah.
I mean, what a terrific feeling, especially after a season where we kind of started out rocky in some areas where we were kind of questioning even if we were going to finish in the playoffs, and to see this team turning around with such a dominant performance. I mean, we might not control possession. I think it was like a 50-50 split almost on possession and things like that, but we dominated the game. We controlled play. We kept it at our tempo. Tulsa didn't even look like they were there most of the time.
Yeah, you talked about it. Yeah, we actually were 46% technically in possession, but you wouldn't have known it because all of our possessions seem to end up in a shot attempt or forward play, whereas Tulsa, they were pretty much just playing not to get scored on the whole night. They barely had any opportunities to score. So, John, I know that you are someone who really likes it when our team keeps it tight in the back. Of course, we've all been a little frustrated, but seeing 6 goals put up, what is your takeaway from that?
I mean, that gives me a lot of confidence going forward in our attack. I mean, because prior to last night, our best game was 4-1 this season, 3 of which were scored by Cam.
Yep.
And my point has pretty much always been we can't have Cam being the only one carrying our attack.
Yeah.
And in this instance, he wasn't. We saw Cam get a brace. Bonomo finally scoring during the regular season with a brace. Warner, he had an assist.
Warner got a goal and Tanner on the
Tanner.
sheet again.
So, I mean, we've got all aspects of our field involved. Our game was highly attacking. I mean, we of our 9 shots on target, we scored 6 of them. And I think our guys, they looked like they're having a lot of fun. I mean, you watch Shannon Gomez, he was doing he was getting a little cheeky there. A lot of our guys are playing like they're having fun with the skill moves, and I was very impressed by our attack. And if we can play like that going forward, I won't ask us to rely on our defense. Which I've been for the most part of the season so far.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed we didn't get the extra point. We scored the touchdown, but no extra point. I really wanted to see 7, and you know what? As many goals as went in the back of the net, we still had 3 or 4 really big chances that we didn't get in. Yeah. Obviously, those are forgiven. You can always forgive those, but that just shows you the complete domination. I mean, it wouldn't have been crazy to see this at 8-9-0.
No.
I mean, welcome relief. Now, Casey, we've all been talking about how we need to score more goals. The last 3 games, we scored 3 at New Mexico. We scored 3 at San Jose. We scored 6 at home. I mean, that's 12 goals in the last 3 games. I don't think we're going to keep that pace, but does the last 3 games also kind of make you not worry about our attack moving forward, or do you think this could just be a good run of form and maybe we might revert to one goal a game, maybe 2 if we're lucky?
I mean, all good things come to an end, so I want to say that. We can't expect to keep scoring 3+ goals a game.
We won't score 6 a game.
We kind of talked about it when we did our predictions for this Tulsa game, though, is I think you said 3-0, and you said, I don't know.
I said 2-0.
I don't think we're going to score another 3-goal game back to back to back, and then we went on to score 6.
Yeah.
So it's really unpredictable, but John said, these guys are flying right now. They're playing with confidence. They're having a good time, and I think we should expect goals from them right now. I just think they're so high in confidence that you might not get 6-0 every game, but we're going to see some 2-0, 3-0, I think, over the next few games.
Well, and with the amount of goals that we're scoring, that's going to give all of our guys confidence. It's going to get our defenders confidence, knowing that they can rely on the attack. It's going to give the midfield confidence, knowing that they can kind of shape the way the play is going to come. And it's going to give our attackers confidence, knowing that they can score the goals. And it doesn't need to be a 3-0, 3-1, 6-0 game every time. But the more confidence we have, the more positive results we are going to have. Regardless, I will be happy if as long as we keep winning and getting good results. If we don't score as many as we do.
Mm-hmm.
But, our guys, I want them to keep playing with the same confidence that they have had over the past couple of games.
Right. And you know what? Something that had been a thorn in our side all season was our lack of goals created from set pieces.
Yeah.
We saw Bijev get that goal against the Earthquakes, and we scored 3 of our 6 goals on Saturday night from a set piece. The first one, of course, the corner kick by Bijev. Tainer gets on the end of it. It looked like it was a very nice play that the guys have been working on because as Tainer even gave a shout out to Horace, he gets him free. Tainer runs that far post, so it looked like that was a planned play from the get-go. So nice to see the guys working on some of maybe the finer things of the game, like some of those set pieces scenarios. And we were a little bit worried going into the game about Tulsa being a team to watch out for on set pieces.
Well, 68% aerial duels won in this game for our team. That is our high of the season. And we talked about it early on. We have tall players. When you have Tainter in there and you have Harris in there and you have these guys that have the height, we need to be winning these. And we saw it this game. And it helped us dominate because every time Tulsa tried to bring the ball up, there was somebody there to head it back the other way. So.
Yeah, and with Bijev back in the lineup, I think he
was terrific.
He'll be our set piece taker from the left hand side with his right in swinging ball, whether that's a shot like we saw against San Jose, or corner kicks or free kicks. He also had another assist on Awasa's second goal of the game from a set piece. Nice in swinging ball again. So John, now with Bijev back in the lineup, does that just bolster our set piece aggressiveness and versatility?
I would say yes. But that's something I've always felt Bijev is very creative in pretty much all avenues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know we stated a few podcasts ago that him coming back isn't going to change our form.
Well,
right.
But I obviously think we were wrong saying that.
Yeah.
Because he adds a whole lot of something in every aspect.
Well, he is our Lord and Savior, right?
Well, and we've seen the trend. 3 games ago, guess who came back? Bijev. We have scored 12 goals in those 3 games. He came back in the cup that we lost, so let's grant that. But, the 3 league games that he's played since he's been back, we have scored 12 goals in. So there's something to be said for the creativity he's bringing, opening up other guys to also be more creative in their own right.
And I think that's what it is. And obviously he's great on set pieces. And obviously, he has contributed to our success in set pieces. Scoring his own goal against the Earthquakes.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yes, he adds a lot to set pieces, but I don't think you can only... not only, but I think you got to focus on everything rather than just the set pieces, which I'm glad was successful with the set pieces.
Bijev back in the lineup also gives our attack a little bit more of a dynamic approach because he can play on that left wing. That moves Warner from the left to the right where he can cut back on his left. So it kind of helps in 2 different ways just by inserting him back. But we can't just stop there. Bijev has been great. Bonamo. He probably had his best game
Hats
as
off
a
to
Bonamo.
Hats off.
Hey, you got to hand it to him. He did miss an opportunity early in the game from right outside the box, but he scored 2 goals. The second one, he kind of runs into it. But hey, when you're playing well, you get rewarded sometimes by put yourself in the right place at the right time. The first goal, obviously it's a breakaway, but he still slots it in. For a guy who had 1 goal in the season coming in, you can't take those for granted. What a welcome sight it was to see Bonamo.
And I'm very pleased. And I know we were all texting during the first 30, maybe 40 minutes of the game. It's like, oh, Bonamo's at it again. Missing sitters. but he gets a brace, and I'm
We've been hard on him, so we got to give him his props.
yeah.
Well, and we talked about it though. He does do the work off the ball, so it's good to see him getting the results now.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So, going back to what you said about Bijev coming back to the team, Bonamo obviously had his best game of the time that he's worn a Republic jersey. But also, this team is in a full bill of health right now. There was no players on the injury sheet, so I think our team getting back to health, maybe having the game stretch out a little bit more, has contributed a lot to the better run of form here. A couple things I wanted to point out, though. Hayden Partain and Horde, they were healthy scratches. Do we think that that's a sign that they might not be part of the 18 moving forward, or was this maybe a one-off?
I got to say it's somewhat of a sign. You don't get dropped from the bench completely if there's not something that the coach is not happy with in your game, if you're not performing how the coach wants you to perform. Now, we do enjoy Horde, and I personally was a fan of Partain, too. I think he offers a lot in the midfield. So, in my opinion, I don't think that those are guys that deserve to hit the bench. But then you look at the guys that are ahead, the ones we just talked about, and, you start to think, Blackwood probably gets a spot because he does offer something and things of that nature.
Yeah, he's attacking.
So you just got to look who's on the bench and who we have, and maybe they are the ones that are starting to get relegated out a little bit.
What do you think, John?
I'm kind of thinking at a wait-and-see approach right now. I think, if I remember correctly, Partain's played more games than Horde. Horde's kind of been an outlier so far.
They both have been not playing as many minutes lately as they started.
But we've
Horde's
also
kind of
seen,
in a fill-in position-wise, like where we need someone to fill in for us here
yeah,
and there.
and it seemed like Horde has now become second fiddle to Bijev. Coach likes playing in that position.
And Horde is not really a natural winger. I mean,
No.
we've talked about it. He's more of a right back by trade, right winger if needed, right?
Yeah. And, it seems like the coach doesn't necessarily need him.
I mean,
And
right?
I like both players a lot, but we're getting results. I'm founder and president of the Horde fan club, but we're playing well.
Well,
and
you
if
know
we're
what?
playing well,
It's
you
hard-
don't want to mess with it.
Yeah, it's hard to say that the coach got anything wrong when you win 6-0, but I think we can all agree that we're not going to have players who are going to be available every week, whether it's injury, whether it's yellow card accumulation. Partain and Horde will suit up more times than they won't. That's just a fact of the matter. A Nick here, a Nick there. We don't have a deep squad. I mean, really, you got 20 guys to work with, and it only takes an injury or two from needing literally all hands on deck.
Well, yeah, we're all fans of bigger clubs and other leagues and stuff where the players are coming and going. And sometimes your favorite guys just are the ones that have to go.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get a little too emotionally attached to a player. I know since you like Horde, and we have a friend Scott that really likes Bijev, and there's guys that get emotionally attached to players, and that's not a bad thing. But you got to remember that sometimes they're not the best player, and even though your emotion's there, you got to think of what's going to win the game for the team, and that's where they go.
It's a good problem to have when you have too many. When you have guys on the bench or that can't even make the bench that you're saying that player needs minutes. It's a lot better than we should probably avoid playing that guy.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
And
go ahead.
Both of them played many minutes last season. Both played really, really good. So there's no denying their quality.
Yeah. So another thing that stood out to me was the center back pairing. We had 4 healthy and non-suspended center backs for Saturday. Kynan again was on the bench. Mahoney on the bench. I think we all kind of figured that Mahoney is a spot starter, a fill-in. But is Harris and Tainer our starting center backs if everyone's healthy going forward?
I've liked Kynan, so I don't want to say that he doesn't start, but I think you rotate those guys out. Now that you have 2 or 3 guys that really work well together with Kynan, Tainter, and Harris, I think at any given time you can rest either one. And so I think this is just a case of he's going to rest whatever one he feels needs to be rested. Kynan's maybe going to be someone's a little harder in tackles and is going to stay back a little more than Harris and Tainter as a pair. So against Tulsa, he wanted them to have a little more freedom going forward, I think. He didn't have to worry about them sitting so far back and protecting as much. So I think that's why he went there. But if you play a team like Phoenix when they come in, you're going to have a guy like Kynan in there that's going to be a hard enforcer cleaning that box out. So that's my opinion.
And we'll probably see Kynan. I think Kynan will probably start against Reno. Because Reno, they're not as good as they've been historically, past 2 seasons that they've been around. But they're still a very capable team, especially if they bring loans from San Jose.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to require a little bit of tinkering on the defense.
And we've been notoriously bad against Reno in our USL history so far. So
except we beat them a couple times at home.
And we beat them in the cup.
Last year we beat them, we tied them, we lost to them. We beat them on the road, lost to them at home. And this year we
just normally get them better in the cup, and then
it
gets better in the league.
This year we lost 4-1 at home, so it looks like we should beat them if we keep the trend going. I also think that Horace and Tanner will be our center backs going forward. I think they just provide the best blend of set-piece attacking ability plus being strong in the back. One player that we got to see for the first time, Juan Barahona, he comes on for Gomez, a sight you rarely ever see. Shannon Gomez getting subbed off of the field. But we all kind of thought going into it, this might be a game where Barahona finally gets his feet wet as a member of Sacramento. So what'd you think about him? I mean, nothing really notable. It was already, 4 or 5-0 when he came on?
Yeah, I think the comment you just made is it. I don't think he was bad. I don't think he was good. I don't think there was
touched the ball a couple times.
We didn't really get to see him under any kind of pressure, under any kind of real challenge. We didn't see him darting forward and doing anything fantastic either, where he was like creating 2 more goals all of a sudden out of nowhere or anything like that. So for me, I think it was a good run out for him. Good to get his name on the sheet real quick, but other than that, there wasn't much to see.
Another player who didn't have much to do, Cohen. I mean, Cohen could have been out there in a lawn chair and board shorts and probably would have given up the same amount of goals he gave on Saturday. Really, the only big chance that they had was kind of that last play at the end of the game where the ball kind of ricochets off of McCrary and he kind of goes to his right, but even that I wouldn't even call that a big save. But Tulsa really didn't.
Sometimes that's the hardest for a keeper, though. When you go 80 minutes without getting anything on, and then all of a sudden they put one on late when you're like, oh, I got to do something? All right.
Hey, you know what, though? For a guy who has saved our behinds a million times the last 2 years, I was super happy to see Cohen kind of get a night off, so to speak. Yep. We didn't have to get a result because of anything he needed to do to get us there, right? So hats off for him, of course, and that's another clean sheet. So that's 2 clean sheets in the USL in our last 2 USL games. What do you think about that?
I think it's good. It's big credit to Cohen. Big credit to our back line.
Absolutely.
McCrary and Gomez, I mean, they've been pretty solid.
I've not been sold on McCrary like I've talked to you guys about, but I mean, the results don't lie. And he's part of that.
He got an assist.
He got an assist.
Awasa's first goal right before half. He crosses it in.
I think his experience alone to keep his head too and keep the team's head helps a lot.
Which and I'm happy to eat my words, and I'm happy for him to do well. And I think that he's especially the past couple games, he's been a great asset. And I think our entire back line is maybe finally getting on the same page.
So a couple notable things from this game. We'll wrap it up here after we do our man of the match. Tulsa has never beaten the Republic. This is, I believe, their 3rd or 4th season now in the USL. They have never beaten the Republic.
You never go full never go full Tulsa.
They have not won a game since April 24th. That's 2 months. That is the biggest margin in Republic history for a victory.
Great win.
And Owasa, he had 2 goals. He could have had another 3, I believe. He had an assist too. But yeah, McCrary got an assist. Bijev got a couple assists. I don't know if Horace gets credit for Warner's assist because he just really passed him the ball and let Warner run for 80 yards and score. But hey, maybe he gets one too.
It's a hockey assist. We'll give the hockey assist.
But I think we can all agree, just a comprehensive victory from front to back. And we were a little worried going into the game about the rust factor because our guys had a long extended layoff. 7th minute, they score a goal. So, you kind of put that behind you real quick when you get on the board. Casey, who's your man of the match?
I'm going to make Scott happy today. I'm going to go with BJ.
Oh my gosh.
I think the creativity.
Two players scored 2 goals and you didn't take one and you went.
No, I think our Lord and Savior, I think that the spark that he's brought to it is done it, and I think in this game we saw it. He creates the opportunities for other people with the runs he makes off the ball, with the movements he makes, and he takes other players on one-on-one, is able to make space for other players in that box too. I think a lot of the work he did was crucial. Coming back, I think he's been key to not this game, but every game so far, like we talked about before. So I'm going to give him the nod on this coming back.
First 2 assists of the season too, believe it or not. So it's been a dry spell for him. Hopefully he can get a goal in USL play soon, maybe this Saturday against Reno. John, who is your man of the match?
I've actually got to go with Bonomo, however you say his name. He's been playing a lot of minutes. He's been making a lot of good looks. He's missed a lot of sitters.
It's kind of the same argument as BJ.
And he's finally kind of, this game, he finally got his due, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Absolutely.
So I'm really happy for him, and I think because he showed his quality in this last game. He's gotta get it.
Oh, yeah.
I got to go with the Wassa. You guys just gave me an easy layup there. 2 goals and an assist. I mean,
You can always just go for a Wassa.
that is true, but hey, even though we're joking that he missed a couple easy ones, he did. He's always putting himself in such good positions. I really liked his assist, though. I'm not gonna lie. It was. Don't get me wrong. It was a terrible ball by the Tulsa center back that got picked off, but he just simply 2 touches that right into Bonomo's run. Just quick. The play was on. He slots it perfect so Bonomo can just run and just one-time that to the side of the keeper. I mean, man, Wassa was just everywhere. We see it all the time, but especially against a team like that, a team that's leaky in the back, he was everywhere. So a lot of guys could have got man of the match.
You
A
could
lot
talk
of
about
guys.
a lot.
Villarreal, I thought, had a great game.
Sorry held up the back really well, defended really well behind, or right in front of those defensive backs.
Yeah,
so.
all the defenders played well because Tulsa had nothing to do. I mean, they had nothing. So I guess that'll wrap it up, and we'll be right back with the pre-match against Reno. All right, guys, so this Saturday, we get to make our way up the 80 and head to Reno. I think the 3 of us all might be there.
Hope so.
I know I'll be there for sure.
I'll be there for sure.
Celebrating my birthday, hopefully with a Republic win. Man, Reno, it's always a good game. I mean, it's always a interesting game. Maybe not good, but there's always a lot of drama. We've seen our team lose 4-1 against them at home. We've seen our team blow a 2-goal lead and lose 3-2 at home. We saw the U.S. Open Cup match just a couple weeks ago, which ended well for us. I just feel like this game, there's always a lot of drama, and it feels like a true derby match. Like it just does. Like it's not like just a proximity thing. Like the short history between these clubs has seen some good games, some interesting games. So
This isn't something created by the league
Yeah.
or by the teams.
So they sit in 7th place right now, 1 spot behind our guys, although they are playing tonight when we're filming this, so they could move up. We'll see. They do have a tough game against Portland, though. So, Casey, they're 2-2-1, 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw in their last 5. We don't know what's going to happen tonight, but they do go on the road against Portland. How are you feeling about our chances going on the road and getting a result this Saturday night?
We've been a confident team, and they're a team that's found a little inconsistency recently. They've got a draw, a win, a loss, a win, a loss, and a draw again, or a win again, I think it was.
Yep.
So, the inconsistency is what I think that we can take advantage of. They're a team that's also letting in goals, and with us flying right now, I think we're going to put a couple past them. I think we're going to get the result. We're going to have a lot of support out because we are going to be out there. I know a lot of TVB are going to be out there, so we'll have a lot of Republic support out there. So I think it'll be a good game and one we should be able to get a result from.
Yeah, I hope to see a lot of Republic fans out there. I think we will outnumber the Reno degenerates or whatever they're called. I don't know what they're
Reno inmates.
They're
Reno
called
ball
like
throwers?
they're called like the Battle Brigade or something.
The
right?
Battle-Born Battalion, I think it is.
I wonder where they got the battalion from.
Honestly, they're just a joke of a supporters group.
They just copy us one step behind everything we do. So
So I hope
More bottle throwing.
I hope that it sounds like a Republic home game for all the fans at home. So, John, like Casey said, they're 2-2-1 in their last 5. They've scored 30 goals. They've also given up 24. So, with our run of form and our attacking run of form, do you expect our guys to put some goals in their net this Saturday?
I think we will. I don't think we're going to see the same results we saw
Not
last
6?
week. Not 6.
Come on. What about 5?
Another 6-0
Can we
would
get
be
5?
amazeballs.
I think we'll probably get 2, but they're also one of their things is one of the reasons I'm very confident is they're going to be without their best player.
Yep, Brian Brown.
Brian
He's
Brown.
on international duty with Jamaica. He's currently one of the bench players for the Jamaican national team in the Gold Cup. They are advancing to the knockout stage of the tournament, so they will be without that. His services 8 goals.
And 11 appearances for him.
And how many assists?
I think
5
4
assists?
or 5. Yeah,
5 assists.
he's their leading goal
5
scorer
assists and
and their leading
7.75.
assist leader right now. So
Herzog is just slightly behind him, though. So
yeah, so
Herzog's got 7 and 3, I think, or something.
yeah, let's talk about it. Herzog, he's probably the main guy to watch out for. They do play a 4-4-2 diamond. They're one of the few teams in this league that really only plays a 4-4-2 diamond. They keep it real narrow. But yeah, with those 2 strikers, usually with Herzog and Brown, that's a deadly duo. But yeah, we talked about it. Brown being out. What do we need to do, Casey, to make sure Herzog doesn't hurt us Saturday night?
We need the center backs like we talked about.
That's terrible.
I'm here all night. So.
We need the center backs like we kind of talked about in the post match to do what they did, and that would be bringing in a guy maybe like kind of that control the box a little bit more. But Harrison Tanger, you put them in too. 2 tall guys are going to flood that box out and not give them the opportunities. Sorry is also going to be key at controlling them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. John, what are you most concerned about the match on Saturday as our guys travel up to Reno for the match?
I mean, Reno's always seemed in some form, especially when we're at home, to be kind
I
of
feel like we always are better there, and they're better at our house,
yeah,
right?
but there always seems to be some apprehension, hesitation. I'm not sure exactly what the word is. When we're playing against them, we don't play as good as we should, or at least we don't maintain our concentration. My biggest concern is that we don't. Maybe we take a 2-goal lead and lose 3-0 like we have before. That's my biggest concern is maintaining, because I think we are a better team than they are this year.
Yeah.
I think that is without debate. They're 3 goals behind, or 3 points behind us, and by the end of time we'll have 2 games in hand, and we're still above them.
Yeah.
So if you look at points wise, you can't debate we are a statistically better team, or points wise a better team than them. But again, they always seem to be kind of our boogeyman, and
Fair enough.
we usually seem to lack concentration, or we don't see out the full 90 minutes, and
Yeah.
that's my biggest concern.
One of the weird things that we'll probably see again on Saturday night is Emra Clementa wearing that blue kit.
Oh, man.
Still is weird to me.
Makes
So
me
he
sad.
may be, obviously, when he's available and healthy, he's probably their best defender.
Yeah.
But again, we talked about it. They're a team that gives up goals. They've given up a lot of goals lately. They lost to Phoenix 3-0. Their last 2 wins are against Galaxy 2 and Las Vegas. But yeah, they also just recently lost to San Antonio, where they had a 2-goal lead and gave up 3 goals. So
Payback is sweet.
I kind of feel like, and I'll let you answer. I guess I'll ask you. Do you think that they're ripe for the taking right now? Because they do have they're not in good form, and they play tonight on the road against a very, very tough Portland Timbers 2 team who are in second in the USL Western Conference.
Yeah, and they're giving up like almost 2 goals a game. Well, I think
Yeah.
it's 1.6 goals a game is what I read, and then they've only had 2 clean sheets this season.
Yep.
Out of their 15 games they've already played, only 2 clean sheets says they're ripe for some goals. We're a team that defensively has been doing well and has been scoring, and we can take advantage of that if the guys come in that same mental attitude that we saw against Tulsa. They come in wanting to play a game and taking it to the team. I think we can do it. And it's about controlling possession, not controlling possession, but controlling the game like we did. Maybe not possession, but making Reno play our game. You said they play a 4-4-2 and they're tight. but we like to spread the ball out wide, so we need to keep the ball moving, keep it going at them.
You perfectly led me into my question for John. Reno plays on a baseball field, and we all hate that. Like, it seriously pisses me off still to this day that there are USL teams that play on a baseball field. And where I'm going with that is, you just mentioned, our guys like to play wide.
We do.
They have a narrow pitch, and they play a narrow formation, which, credit to them, credit to their coach Ian Russell. They play the way they should on their field. Our guys like to play wide. John, do you think that's a big disadvantage going into this game? I mean, yes, we've beaten them there before, and they've beaten us on a wide pitch in Sacramento before, but do you think the way that our team lines up in comparison to them, that is a disadvantage for our guys going into Saturday?
Honestly, I think that's something the coach will consider. We might change up our tactics a little bit because we know what we're getting into. We've had a couple years' experience of playing on baseball fields where there's the pitcher's mound right in the middle.
Yes, sir.
I don't remember exactly how their pitch looks, but
it's a standard. One side is crap, and the other side is the outfield, which is better. Like
they
like
will play to
that.
the advantage of their field. They will have experience playing on it.
I expect an ugly game for sure.
And I mean, we're gonna have to make the most of what we can. I have a hard time completely answering that question. Yeah. But I mean, if history tells anything, it will be a good game. But I think we might struggle.
Last year we won.
I think we'll struggle.
Last year we beat them twice on the road, and once in the U.S. Open Cup, Alamon's free kick, and the other one was when Nisha scored, and we won 2-1. You remember we played like a 4-4-2 or a 3-5-2 that game? We were on a bad run of form, and we beat them in that game where Nisha played as an inside striker, and he scored from the left-hand side. But you wanted to comment on that?
Yeah, I think we have played on that kind of field a couple times this season and gotten wins. Against New Mexico, they also play on the baseball diamond, which is also narrowed in like we've seen in Reno. And Fresno does the same thing, and you've notoriously talked about how narrow and poor that pitch is all around.
That's very true.
So, I think the coach is going to adapt that same mentality, and we've gone there and we've got real hard, dirty wins where, we dragged it out a little bit and beat Fresno. But we did go to New Mexico and adapted after that and got a good win, too. So I think we can go here and dominate, even though the pitch is a little bit wider, or not as wide, I mean.
One guy I think is crucial stop, that's Seth Kasipli. He has 2 goals and 2 assists for them, but he's a deep-lying center midfielder, a playmaker. He has 52 key passes, so he doesn't get on the score sheet or the assist sheet too often, but he does start a lot of their attacks, a lot of their dangerous plays run through him. He's a player who's been a thorn in our side, so I think it's crucial that we stop him if we're going to win the game. So going into our guys, Casey, do you expect Coach Elliott to roll out the same starting 11 that we have seen pretty much the last couple matches, here and there, one-offs, or do you think we'll see some changes on Saturday night?
No, I think he goes full Tulsa on it. I think he's going to play the same lineup. That lineup fits the narrower field like we talked about. The back line can handle a guy like Herzog like we talked about a little bit earlier. I see this being one of our stronger lineups, and if we play the same style we did against Tulsa in this game, I think we can get the same kind of result, maybe not 6-0 like we said.
If we do see a change, what would you say would be a change that you might expect?
I would like to see Bonomo probably come off like we talked about. He did have a couple of goals here, but he has
a 2-goal win.
But we didn't even really want to see him start in Tulsa.
So are you saying that you want to see that, or you might expect to see that?
I would expect to see him in, but I would like to see him out. I'd like to see Villarreal play up in the 10th spot, and Iwasa go back up top.
All right, so what about a change that you kind of could expect to see?
I think we could probably expect to see a back line change. I did talk about how Kynan offers a little bit more box control. He's a little bit more of a strong arm kind of player, and he has a little bit more of that leadership ability, that experience, I think, in the back.
Yeah.
And I think that's something when you are playing against a team
and
like Reno.
It's a narrow field, too, so you don't really worry about his speed as much, right?
Yeah,
on a smaller pitch.
I expect Kynan to come in for probably Harris, because Tager's been doing really well.
Same question for you, John. What change could you, I guess, might want to see happen, and what change do you kind of see Elliott taking?
Honestly, right now, I think that I know we've talked about this a lot. I want Cam up top. I mean, you can have two up top with Bonomo and Cam.
I want Cam on top, damn it.
Exactly. But coach likes him back.
Yes.
But I agree with Casey. I almost forgot your name, Casey.
Center
It
back
is
change.
long, 2 letters.
Yeah,
so-
center back change.
Kynan or Mahoney?
Kynan,
'Kay.
definitely. He's a good leader. He's got a lot of experience, and I think he could stop Reno.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I mean, we've said it. We want to see Iwasa play strike or start a game that way. But hey, hard to say that today. You know, just a couple days removed from Bonomo scoring twice and being pretty active up
He
there.
made an argument for himself.
For me, man, Sarri and Villarreal played really well. I think if we do see a change, it will be on the back line. But I'm going to go a little bit different here. I could see maybe Gomez or McCreary getting a night off. And maybe Barahona comes in. Maybe Barahona slots in. And not necessarily Gomez comes out, but maybe Gomez goes to the right. Or McCreary gets a rest. Or McCreary gets a rest. Or vice versa, McCreary or Gomez. I could see that
Do
happening.
you think maybe like Gomez could go forward a bit? And
I wouldn't say
Barahona-
forward. I would say Gomez would go to the right side. Or Horde maybe gets a chance. We don't know. But I think maybe one of the outside backs, because they have been logging a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
So
Gomez plays
And
almost every game.
I do expect Barahona to be one of our key starters within the next couple games.
really, so you think he will supplant Gomez out of the starting lineup?
Maybe. I mean,
It's gonna be
I
tough.
Mean,
He's
been one of our
coaches
best
have been
players.
notorious of changing.
It depends on what he
players'
offers.
Gomez has been so good though. I
he
mean,
ha-
Defensively, but he doesn't offer a whole lot going
but
forward.
hey,
But-
if you're not giving up goals, that's literally your job.
And if you have a team,
I get it. You want
and
to
if
see.
you have a team that's scoring 6 goals too, you're not really worried about
Yeah,
it.
exactly. We all want to see James Kiffey flying up the left wing. Okay.
Just saying. I'm just saying.
But Gomez is one of our key stoppers. Like that guy, and he usually is tasked with playing some very dangerous wingers. I think he has like the hardest matchup most of the time, and he comes away on top. But hey, let's get into it. I guess we gotta go into our predictions, right? So,
Yeah.
John, I'll let you start. What's your prediction?
I think we go 2-1.
2-1, the old tried and true.
So all tried and true. I do think that, again, like I said it before, Reno's kind of our boogeyman. We always seem to lack something, but we're also on a really good high right now. We're playing with a lot of confidence. We're playing with a lot of quality, a lot of skill. So I think we edge it out. Let's say Werner and Iwasa get the goals. That's easy, but that's who I'm calling.
Werner and Iwasa. All right, Casey. Go ahead, man.
I'm going to go with the old tried and true 2-0. I think our defensive work will be enough to stall him out. If I'm going to have to put names on the goals, I'd like to see Bijev get one. I think he's in the mood. I think he's looking good. I think it's the next step for him is getting on the board again. So I want that. And I think you go with Iwasa. He's on fire this season. He's in his
He's got
zone.
9 goals now.
And it's hard to say he's not going to get a goal this time.
He's
so,
knocking out the door of
Yeah.
being the league leader
like
in
you
goals.
You talked about it in the last game. He got 2, but he could have had 5 if he would have got them all in. So I think he's a high contender every game.
So we got 2-1, we got 2-0. Man, you pretty much put me in a corner here, but I think it'll
6-0.
I think it will be a game with some goals scored, but I do think it will be an ugly game just because of the narrow pitch and half of it being the infield of the baseball team in Reno. So I think we're gonna win 3-2 in a thriller. I think we'll see a late goal from, of course, Kamawasa, but yeah, I'm not sure about the other two. Give me a goal from Bijev getting his first of the season in league play. And give me another center back goal. I'm going to double down. I called it last game. Pretty much we were all right on our predictions last game in terms of who we thought might score, at least, even if our scores were off. Give me
We got
another
double
center
on
back
Casey
goal.
and
I called a center back goal and an Iwasa goal, and even though I predicted 2-0, both of those things happened. So give me another one. Tainer. He's going to have back-to-back goals.
All right.
All
I would
right.
love to see that. I think Tanner right now is in good form, so it's good to see him.
So we want to know your predictions. Let us know. Are you going to go to the game? Are you going to make the trip? Please let us know because I'll be out there Friday and Saturday. Love to hang out. Love to throw a couple beers back before the game, during the game. And of course, I'd love to be as loud and as crazy as possible Saturday. Give Reno a dose of what the Republic home atmosphere is like on the road. Yeah, so I guess we're going to talk a little bit about the Gold Cup.
Sure.
All right, let's talk about it. The U.S. is about to play right now, so they're going to advance. We don't know who they'll play yet, but
They're probably just about kicking off at this point.
yeah, they are.
So
They
we'll
ju-
make this as fast as possible so we can go watch the game.
Yeah, so they're moving on no matter what their result is tonight. They'll be into the quarterfinal, 8 teams left. Mexico is on the other side of the bracket no matter what. We'll be on one side of the bracket.
Yeah.
You think we're taking this or what?
I think it's going to come down to us in Mexico, and I think we can. I think the dominant performance we saw against Trinidad and Tobago, that's a performance we needed to see. I think this is a team that when they are together and are performing, we're seeing good things from them. Berhalter's mentality of the passing and controlling is somewhat working. Now, these are against lower division teams, so you can control games like that. When you're playing against maybe a higher level of competition, I don't know if it would work to the same effect. But for this competition, I think it'll work, and I think he'll get the result.
What do you think, John?
I was very excited after our 6-0 win. Our guys showed a lot of fight, and that makes me confident. We've won the Gold Cup quite a few times. I think we can do it again. I don't think Mexico cares as much about this competition.
Mexico's been looking really good.
Mexico has a ton of talent, but I don't think
I
they
think
care
they're the
as
favorite,
much
though.
about this.
They're a bit farther on the stage of the redevelopment, too. They're a team that has transitioned a little bit before us, so now they're coming way back into form compared to where we're starting to work back into
Yeah, but we have to remember, though, they do have Raul Jimenez,
Yeah.
who's coming off a really good season with the Wolves, but he's scoring goals for them. Guardado has been playing well. I do think that's what we'll see, though. Mexico coming from one side, U.S. coming from the other side. But, yeah, I think you have to say that Mexico's still the favorite. I mean, until they were the favorite going in, and they've looked really good in their 3 games. So we'll see what happens. What about Friday, though? Friday, my birthday. I hope the ladies don't lose, but the U.S. women, they play their quarterfinal match against France. They're actually the underdog for this game. What do you think about that?
I think the performance that we just saw against Spain wasn't a good enough
Wasn't top
performance.
tier.
We relied on the penalties to really win the game. I don't think that the second penalty at least was really soft. The first one I think was a clear cut no matter what. The second one is a penalty, but it's a soft one, so I think they got a little lucky on that. I don't think it was a performance that we wanted to see from them.
Yeah.
France also hasn't been the best making their way
Yeah,
through
they've
this
also,
either.
I think some people are forgetting about that. Like, everyone's talking about the U.S. not playing that great against Spain. France, the last couple games, they've also relied on some penalties, on some VAR decisions.
So it'll be what team steps up, really. And France is a good team, so let's not put it past them. And I know France as a country wants to win both of them in 1 year.
So are
or
we
one
beating
term.
France?
But I think we beat France. I think that the girls are great.
What's the score?
Yeah.
I think the girls are going to beat them. I think it's actually going to be pretty comfortable in the end. I think 3-0.
Wow,
That's
3-0.
That's what I was going to call it too.
Oh, what? Whoa,
Yeah.
3-0.
3-0.
I think so.
I still think.
On the
I
day,
think
they're
we're
just a
kind
really good
of
team.
waning a little bit.
You know,
but we are
the
still
last
the
3
best
times the
women's
women
team.
have played France, they have not beaten them. They've lost them twice and tied once.
I did not know that, but I don't follow the women's league enough to be an
But,
honest voice on that.
but I mean, those were friendlies. Those were different competition, and we know that the women are always feared. But are you surprised that the women are actually the underdog? Like they're the betting underdog on Friday.
That I am surprised. We've for the past 10 plus years we've had the best women's team in the world.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much since '99 when they won their first or their second.
There's
But
always the pressure too of doing the repeat. Whenever you're the defending champion coming into such a big competition,
Yeah.
there's that extra bit of pressure that rides on your shoulders, and I think that also maybe would lead a little bit to that stat.
I think we'll win, but I definitely don't have the same confidence as you guys. I say we win 2-1 after extra time. I think it will be a tight game. I am a little bit nervous because it is in France. It is in Paris. So it will be loud. It's going to be a very cool environment, though, because we've seen how loud the U.S. women's fans are, and of course, France playing at home. So I think we're going to see probably the most electric atmosphere ever for a women's World Cup game, honestly. I really think it's going to be that crazy in that stadium. So I saw actually that they were selling tickets for that game on the secondary market for like $10,000.
Jeez.
Oh.
That's something I'll never be seeing.
And somehow they can't afford to pay our women the same amount.
Yeah, right.
That's a whole different can of worms. But yeah, it should be a good game. Friday's my birthday. I don't want them to lose on my birthday, man. Like, come on. But I am a little bit concerned. So, anyways, let us know your thoughts and your predictions on the U.S. men and women as they play in their respective tournaments. And, of course, your thoughts on the Republic and Reno. And let us know for sure if you're going on Saturday. Tell us where you're staying. Maybe we'll meet up and have a pregame beer, pregame dinner.
Fun.
Do something fun. So, you guys got any last thoughts?
No, I think that's going to be it. We'll keep you posted on the U.S. playing in the Gold Cup as well as the women's national team. We're not going to do a whole lot of individual coverage, but we will talk about it on these podcasts from here on out until it progresses. So do stay tuned for that. We'll try to keep going. I know we're playing right now, so we'll talk about that maybe next week.
Any last thoughts, John?
I'm very much looking forward to Saturday. Reno games are always the.
You just make sure you get a babysitter. Right?
I'm trying. I'm trying to ensure that I have a babysitter so I can go up there.
All right. Well, once again, we're at Fort Rock Brewing. Check them out. If you haven't been here before, it's a great place, great beer. I'm Mark Anthony. That's KCJ. That's John Glatz. And we'll see you next time.
All right, guys, we appreciate you watching this Old Glory Red Report video. If you enjoyed this content, we'll have something that YouTube likes for you over here. There'll be something that we think you'll enjoy over here, so check those out. Subscribe right down here. We are on Facebook at the Old Glory Red Report, Instagram and Twitter, Old Glory Red. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a big thumbs up because we love that. We appreciate that very much. Subscribe to the channel. We are on the Beautiful Game Network, so if you don't have the time to watch it, head over to Stitcher, the Apple Store, the iTunes Store. You can catch that podcast over there in the audio form. We also are live here at Fort Rock Brewing. We appreciate everything they do. If you get a chance, we shoot on Wednesdays, so come join us down here at Fort Rock Brewing. All those links will be in the description below. We appreciate you watching. Until next time, thanks, guys.